Hi friends, how are you? Hope you must be fine. You know, we always ignore vocabs for our exam, but it contains at least 5 marks in every exam. So this is the second part of English alphabet A. I will explain every word with some interesting tricks so that you will remember it lifetime. You only need to see the video twice before your any exam. Rest you don't have to prepare anything for vocabs. Please like, subscribe and share. After all, sharing is care. The first word is accord. Definition of accord is agreement or concurrence of opinion. Here you can see son is requesting his father to buy him an accord car. Okay, and the mnemonics which we can use here is agreement between father and son that he will buy Honda Accord for his son if he scores top in his exams. The example sentence is the parents were arguing because they were not in accord with how to discipline their teenager. Now, accost. Definition of accost is approach and speak first to a person. And the mnemonics which we can use here is accost sounds like at any cost. And here the first person is saying to the second person that he will approach and speak to her at any cost. Okay. And the example sentence is when the man accosted me with a gun, I quickly handed over my purse. That means when the man approached me with a gun, I quickly handed over my purse. Okay, next. Now, accretion. Definition of accretion is act of increasing by natural growth. And the mnemonics which we can use here is accretion sounds like secretion, which gives an idea of growth in size. As you know, due to hormonal secretions, the growth in human takes place. Example sentences: the gradual accretion of terror over many years left 100 dead and thousands wounded. Okay, it means the gradual increase of terror over many years left 100 dead and 1000 wounded. Okay, now next is accrue. Definition of accrue is come to one as a gain, accumulate over a time, and sounds like accrue. So a person becomes accrue when he gains a lot. In Hindi we can say अकड़ू का मतलब होता है घमंडी. घमंड इंसान के अंदर कब आता है? जब वो काफी अमीर हो जाता है तो उसके अंदर घमंड आ जाता है. तो in that mean we can remember the word accrue as अकड़ू, and from that we can come to the conclusion at accumulate over a time. Okay. Now the next one is acme. Definition of acme is the highest peak that is reachable. In that picture you can see there is a mountain and a person who is standing with a flag has reached the highest of its peak. The mnemonics which you can use here is sounds like Lakme face cream, whose product promise your beauty to reach its peak. Okay, so you can relate in that way. You can relate acme with Lakme, and Lakme assures you to reach its peak in terms of beauty. And the example sentence is the team reached its acme when it won the national championship. Now the next is acquiesce. Definition of acquiesce is agree passively, comply without protest or express agreement. In Hindi, बिना विरोध के किसी काम का हो जाना या काम का होना को हम acquiesce बोलेंगे. And the mnemonics which you can use here is acquiesce equals to A means agree and qui means quietly. So if a person is agreeing quietly, that means he is complying without protest. So the example sentence is the administration decided to acquiesce and let the students have a dance. Now next is acquittal. Definition of acquittal is a setting free from the charge of an offense or verdict. Okay, you can take an example of Salman Khan. जैसे कि सलमान खान को छोड़ दिया गया. The mnemonics which we can use here is if we bifurcate the acquit as AC and quit, then AC means acquisition and quit is quit, then the total word is acquisition quit. Okay, that means you are free from the charge or verdict. And the example sentence is everyone was shocked by the killer's acquittal, which allowed him to leave prison. Now the next one is acrimonious. Definition of acrimonious is angry in tone and bitter. Here you can see the boss is angry with employee, and the mnemonics which we can use here is A plus CRI plus monious. Take CRI as cry. Stinging bitter words hurt make people cry. Okay, that means if your boss is saying bitter words to you, then obviously it would hurt you and it would make you cry also. So the example sentence is, despite the acrimonious relationship I have with my boss, he respects my quality of work. That means despite the bitter conversation with his boss, he respects his quality of work also. Now next one is acuity. Definition of acuity is sharpness in relation to thought, vision or hearing. And the mnemonics which we can use here is, acuity sounds like acute, means intelligent and quick, and intelligence is nothing but sharpness of mind. So the example sentence is, according to many people, smoking marijuana does not decrease your intellectual acuity. That means, according to many people, smoking weed and marijuana does not decrease your intellectual thinking, thought or hearing. Next word is adage. Definition of adage is a wise saying and proverb. Okay, here you can see is a grandfather and a grandson, and the grandfather is telling a story. And the mnemonics which we can use here is add plus age. Generally, old people tell us all the proverbs and all. You must have heard from your grandfather or grandmother, they always try to put any proverb in their sentences. So you can remember this word adage with add plus age, and you can link it with the proverbs and the wise saying is always said by the old age peoples. So now the example sentence is, when you are thinking about buying a used car, remember the old adage, let the buyer beware. Now adamant. Definition of adamant is restrain oneself from doing or enjoying something. In Hindi we can say जिद में अड़ जाना किसी चीज को करने के लिए is known as adamant. And the mnemonics which we can use here is a plus dam. A dam is generally inflexible and hard, so vehicles can pass through it. Dam is also hard and inflexible. When your thought and thinking are hard and inflexible, then it will be called as adamant. And the example sentence is, he is so adamant in his belief that no one can change his mind. Next. Addle. Definition of addle is make or become confused, muddle, drive crazy, become rotten egg. And the mnemonics which we can use here is, addle can be heard as add plus all. So add all and get confused. When you heard a news about anything from different sources like from internet, from newspaper, from TV, and all get mug up and you can easily get confused that on which news you should believe. So the example sentence is it true smoking marijuana can addle your brain and make it difficult for you to concentrate? Okay, here you can see that there is a person who is smoking marijuana, and there is a research on smoking marijuana is the brain gets slow and muddled so that it is difficult to concentrate on anything. Now adept. Definition of adept is expert at and very skilled at. And the mnemonics which you can use here is A plus depth. A person who has a deep knowledge. Depth means deep. If a person who is having a deep knowledge, he is a very expert and he is very skilled also in any field. So example sentence, if you want to become a police officer, you must become adept with a handgun. Means you must be very expert with handgun. Now adherent. Definition of adherent is a material that sticks to other things or a person who supports a particular party or person. Okay, here you can see that there are many people who are protesting and there is a single girl who is also protesting, and from this story we can relate a mnemonics which is add plus her plus in to the group because she is supporter and follower of our group. Okay, so the crowd is saying she is protesting alone, why don't she can join us and protest along with us? And the example sentence is, if you are adherent to the philosophy of Buddhism, you do not become attached to any material possessions. It means if you are following the philosophy of Buddhism, you will not be attached to any material possessions. Means you will not attached with any assets or like jewelries, homes, money and etc. Now adjunct. Definition of adjunct is something attached to but holding an inferior position. Okay, here you can see that there are 4 peoples and the 3 peoples who are standing ahead of the last one, because the last one is attached with the group but is at inferior position. Okay, and the mnemonics which you can relate from this picture is add plus junct. It is added as junct but not very useful. Okay. And the example sentence is, my math teacher was adjunct faculty and did not work for the school full time. Means the math teacher is a guest faculty and he did not work for the school full time. Now adjuration. Definition of adjuration is request or urge something to do something. The mnemonics which you can use here from the word adjuration is, on finding that there was no groceries left, the wife asked her husband, "Aaj zara ration le aiye." Okay, you can relate adjuration with "Aaj zara ration le aiye," a sincere and honest request for an action. Okay, here you can see wife is cooking and she told her husband there is no grocery left in her kitchen and requesting her husband to take groceries from the market. Okay, and the example sentence is, the judge will adjure the witness to speak only the truth while testifying in favor of the defendant. Means the judge is requesting and urging to the witness to speak only the truth while testifying in favor of the defendant. Now adjutant. Definition of adjutant is staff officer assisting the commander or an assistant. Okay, and the mnemonics which we can use here is, adjutant sounds like adjacent. Your boss assistant will be sitting adjacent to your boss and hence adjutant means assistant. Okay, here you can see that the assistant is sitting behind the boss, so adjutant sounds like adjacent, so the assistant is sitting adjacent to the boss. And here the example sentence is, I wish I had an adjutant to handle all these administrative duties and tasks that I hate doing myself. The boss is saying that he wish he has a adjutant, means he has an assistant, because he have to do all the administrative duties and tasks that he hate himself. Now adorn. Definition of adorn is make more attractive or beautiful. And here you can see there is a original photo of Kangana Ranaut who is without makeup, and after that she wore makeup and jewelry. She was looking very gorgeous. So the mnemonics which you can relate from this story is add plus orn. Orn means ORN means ornamentals. Okay, if you are adding ornamentals to a girl, she looks very beautiful. Okay, so add plus on used to decorate, and after decorating, thing or person look very beautiful. And the example sentence is, soft cream linens and plush pillows adorn the king size bed in the hotel's master suite. It means the soft cream bed sheets and the very soft pillows adorn the king size bed, means it added the beauty of the king size bed in the hotel master suite. Now adulation. Definition of adulation is flattery, admiration that is more than is necessary or deserved. In Hindi we can say makhan marna ya chaplusi karna. Okay, and the mnemonics which we can use here is add plus you plus later. She told me that she will add me later on Yahoo Messenger, so I need to flatter her to add me. Okay, you can relate adulation with add you later, means the girl is saying that she will add him later, so the person need to flatter her more so that she will add him on Yahoo Messenger. Okay, and the example sentence which we can use here is, although Salman was a famous celebrity, he was very uncomfortable with the adulation from his fans. Means Salman is a famous celebrity and he is very ground to earth, so he feel very uncomfortable when someone adulate him or when the fans adulate him. Okay. Now advent. Definition of advent is the coming or arrival of something. Okay, and the mnemonics which we'll be using here is dad plus went. Okay, assume that if you call your dad's office to know that the arrival of your father, the office boy says your dad went to home. That means he is arriving. And you can remember your childhood also, when you get to know that your father is coming home, so you leave all the things beside and start to study so that your father will not be getting angry on you. Okay, Example sentences: with the advent of the railways, tourism boomed. Now, adversary. Definition of adversary is one's opponent in a contest, conflict or a dispute. Okay. And the mnemonics which we can use here is concentrate on adverse, one who gives us adverse effect, that is opponents. Means the one who give a adverse effect. Okay, that is opponents. And the example sentences: I will destroy my adversary during our battle. Here you can see that there is a battle between India and Pakistan, and the Indian army is kicking the Pakistani army. So this was the statement of Indian army before India-Pak war. Now, ages. Definition of ages is under the influence or protection of a specific individual, body or government. मतलब किसी के छत्र छाया में रह के कोई काम करने को हम बोलेंगे ages. And the mnemonics which we can use here is, it sounds like Age of Empire. If you have ever played the Age of Empire in your personal computer, the game where the soldiers wear that shield for protection. Okay, here shield means it is a protection. Okay, and under the protection he is fighting with the opponent. And the example sentences: the knight was under the aegis of the king, so he was not punished for his crimes against the villagers. In Hindi, the knight means योद्धा और शूरवीर. Okay, so king के अंडर में काम कर रहा था योद्धा, इसलिए उसको कोई भी पनिशमेंट नहीं दी जा रही थी जो कि वो विलेजर्स के अगेंस्ट क्राइम करता था. Okay. Now, aesthetic. Definition of aesthetic is concerning or characterized by an appreciation of beauty or good taste. मतलब किसी की सौंदर्य का सराहना करना को हम बोलेंगे aesthetic. Okay. And the mnemonics which we can use here is as means Aishwarya. So everyone appreciates the beauty of Aishwarya. Okay. And the example sentence is: too many plant lovers, the aesthetic view of rose is priceless. Now, affable. Definition of affable is easily approachable, easy to talk to, warmly friendly. Okay. And the mnemonics which we can use here, if we bifurcate the word affable, F plus able, you will be able to have an affair with a girl only if she is affable. Here you can see the boy is trying to propose a girl and he knows that she will accept his proposal. Okay. In Hindi, affable का मतलब हुआ जिसके पास हम आसानी से पहुंच सकते हैं, या तो जिससे हम आसानी से बात भी कर सकते हैं. तो हमें पता है अगर हम किसी के पास आसानी से पहुंच सकते हैं और उनसे बात कर सकते हैं तो हम उनसे अच्छा रिश्ता भी बना सकते हैं आगे के लिए. So the example sentences: I would describe Santa Claus as a big affable man who gives toys to children. Okay. Now, affinity. Definition of affinity is a natural liking or attraction for someone or something. Okay. And the mnemonics which we can use here is affinity sounds like affine. Affinity sounds like affine. I think you guys know affine in Hindi, which is a drug. So druggists have a special kinship for affine, which is affinity for affine. मतलब जो ड्रगिस्ट होते हैं उन्हें बहुत चाह होती है अफीम या फिर किसी भी ड्रग से. ठीक है. So affinity means किसी चीज को दिल से चाहना. The example sentence is: although Adam is a very different than me, I have an affinity for him which I cannot describe. मतलब person is saying कि Adam जो है वो मुझसे बहुत डिफरेंट है, बट जो मेरी चाह है उसके लिए वो मैं डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकता. ओके. नाउ, affliction. Definition of affliction is state of distress, trial, cause of distress or suffering. Okay, means वो एक ऐसा स्टेट जिसमें आप बिल्कुल परेशान हो या आप बिल्कुल तंग हो गए हो किसी चीज से, उसको हम बोलेंगे affliction. And the mnemonics which we can use here is it sounds like infection. Okay, we can relate affliction, infection, which causes a state of distress, irritating and suffering. You know, अगर आपको इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है किसी चीज का तो उससे क्या होता है, बहुत परेशान हो जाते हैं, बहुत इरिटेट हो जाते हैं. Okay, and the example sentence is: a good percentage of all homeless people suffer from some untreated mental affliction. Okay, इसका मतलब हुआ कि वो लोग जिनके पास घर नहीं है वो किसी न किसी मेंटल बीमारी या मेंटल टेंशन या मेंटल इरिटेशन से गुजर रहे होते हैं. Now, affluence. Definition of affluence is a situation in which one has a great amount of wealth. Okay, it means ऐसा situation जब किसी के पास बहुत सारा पैसा. Okay. And the mnemonics which we can use here is, if we bifurcate affluence, it means it will be a flow of cents, means wealth. Okay, affluence, a flow of cents. Cent क्या होता है? Cent is a coin used in a different countries. It is same like a 1 rupees coin or 2 rupees coin. Okay, but it is lower than a dollar. Now the example sentence is when the economy crashed, many people of affluence become poor. मतलब जब इकोनॉमी क्रैश हुआ था तो बहुत सारे लोग जो कि पहले से वेल्दी थे, जो बहुत पैसे वाले थे, वो सब लोग गरीब हो गए. ओके. Now AGAPE. Definition of AGAPE is open-mouthed. Open-mouthed means it's expression of shocking news, and the mnemonics which you can use here is A plus gape. Okay, means A plus gap. An open mouth has a gap between lips and hence a gape. Okay, you can see here that a girl has an open mouth means a gap between the lips. When there is a gap between the lips, it will be known as open-mouthed. Okay. And the example sentence is when I first saw the sunset in the Grand Canyon, I could only stand staring with my mouth agape. मतलब कि जब मैंने सनसेट देखा ग्रैंड कैनियन से, मैं बस खड़ा रह गया देखते हुए और मेरे मुंह खुले रह गए क्योंकि वो जो व्यू था वो बहुत ही सुंदर. Now agglomeration. Definition of agglomeration is a collection or mass of things. Okay, and the mnemonics which we can use here is it sounds like aggregation, means collecting or a collection of things. Okay, and the example sentence is the mayor has an agglomeration of complaints against him, which is why he may not be in the office much longer. Here you can see in the picture also the employee was sleeping in the office and he got many complaints to the officer, and after watching him sleeping, the officer kicked him from his office. Now aggrandize. Okay, definition of aggrandize is to make something bigger or more powerful or to make it appear so. Okay, मतलब किसी चीज को बड़ा करना और या फिर बहुत पावरफुल बनाना या फिर उसको बड़ा करके दिखाना को हम बोलेंगे aggrandize. Okay, and the mnemonics which we can use here is grand, means this resembles to something huge or great or wealthy. Okay, this is the picture of Clash of Clans. It's an Android game in which King tried to make his empire more powerful and bigger. Okay, and the example sentence is the king uses every opportunity to aggrandize his family. Okay, मतलब King कोई भी opportunity नहीं छोड़ता है अपनी family को बड़ा और powerful बनाने से. Now it's enough for today. I hope you have found this useful. You can please share your feedback in the comment section. Subscribe it first and share it with your friends. As you know, share is care. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.